name is Casey Hale. I am the School Health Manager at Healthy Schools Oklahoma, and I am here to talk to you about the Healthy Schools Oklahoma program as well as the TSET projects that you will be participating in. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll start with our mission statement. Our mission is to promote and maintain healthy lifestyle choices in Oklahoma through preventive, community-based school health education programs for students, their families, and faculty. So not only do we want to impact students, we also want to reach families and faculty as well. And the TSET project has really helped us do that by holding healthy universities for families, which I'll get into, and creating an app so families can access that. So I'm going to go through different ways we are really trying to reach families through this project. So a little background of our program: we started in 1997 and we were called Schools for Healthy Lifestyles, and then we changed our name to Healthy Schools Oklahoma in 2017, and then in 2021 we were taken over by the Bethany Children's Health Center, which has been a great partnership for us. They are our lead agency and we work alongside Safe Kids Oklahoma, and it's just created more sustainability for our program, which is wonderful. So if you're not familiar with the Bethany Children's Health Center, it's Oklahoma's only inpatient pediatric rehabilitation facility. So if you're ever in the area, you can always take a tour, and they are really just doing great things there, and they're very passionate about helping kids. So we're excited to be part of that organization. So we have 68 elementary schools currently in our program. The way it works is schools apply to be in our program. If they are selected, then they follow a tiered implementation process, and we provide all the resources, curriculum, support they need to have a quality physical education and health program. So a majority of our schools are in the central Oklahoma area, but as you can see, some are in other areas, and our plan is to continue to grow so that we can reach more students. Our program focuses on 5 areas that include physical activity, nutrition, injury prevention, tobacco prevention, and oral health. So all of our schools that are participating in the program receive resources, curriculum, funding, and support in all of those areas. As I mentioned earlier, schools follow a tiered implementation structure. So freshman schools, if you are new to the program, you are only required to implement physical activity and nutrition. Sophomore schools add on injury prevention and tobacco prevention. Junior schools then add on oral health. So by that point, the schools are implementing all of our focus areas. And then we have many senior and alumni schools. They are implementing all focus areas, and they are also eligible for additional program opportunities. Okay, so now we'll get into the TSET grant piece of this. So as I mentioned, you are a part of the Healthy Schools Oklahoma program, and through that program you will be participating in a TSET project. This is a 2-year project, and what this means is you will be receiving additional hands-on support and resources beyond what a typical Healthy Schools Oklahoma school receives. You are one of 10 schools selected to participate in this grant, and your school is identified based on county obesity rates and other high-risk factors. So like I said, this is great for your school because you're going to be receiving site-specific support and resources. So a curated program will be developed at your school over this 2-year grant period to improve student health outcomes. The TSET grant, the focus of it is to impact community, parents, students, and school faculty. So I'm going to go through different ways this grant will impact those areas. But before I do that, this is the timeline. So your school, if you are new, applied to be in the Healthy Schools Oklahoma program, and the first day of the TSET grant was July 1st. The start of the year 2 is July 1st, 2025, and then the end of the TSET project for you, which is year 2, would be June 30th, 2026, and then your school will just continue into the HSOK program as normal. If you are not new to HSOK, but you are participating in this grant, same timeline, so you're participating in the TSET grant for this 2-year period, and then you will just continue in the HSOK program starting July 1st, 2026. So every school is required to designate a Healthy Schools Oklahoma coordinator. It's typically the physical education teacher, but it can really be anyone at the school site. This person will be the main contact. They will be communicating with us and also implementing the requirements as well as delegating responsibilities within the school. So let's get into the benefits. A big benefit of the TSET and Healthy Schools Oklahoma program is the curriculum. Specifically Healthy Schools, we developed a curriculum that covers all of our focus areas, and it has activities that can be taught as well. So that is one benefit to our program. Our teachers can use it in the PE classroom or any classroom really. So I'm going to go over that in the next few slides. We have supporting curriculum that goes, supporting materials that go with the curriculum. So fun visuals and manipulatives that can be shown to students when the teachers are sharing the curriculum. We also have tower gardens when available and supportive materials for that. Another big benefit of our program is the networking opportunities, our biggest one being the Summer Health Institute, but we also hold trainings throughout the year so that all teachers are supported and staying up to date on everything. We have our coordinator stipend. This is a TSET grant benefit because there is extra work that comes along with this TSET project, so the coordinator will be receiving a stipend for their work. Then we have grant funding. So for TSET schools, you will be receiving $10,000 per year of the TSET grant, so per year for over the 2-year period. Extra programming and health materials based on individual school action plans. You'll also receive extra programming if interested. And then we have our annual water safety events. We're going to have a strong focus on community and family engagement, and we can also review and update wellness policies. So as I mentioned, the coordinator stipend, all coordinators will receive a stipend if requirements are met. That's the big important piece, but that should not be a problem. We will stay in communication with the coordinator and help as needed. So here are the programs that I mentioned. We have action-based learning. If you're not familiar with that, that is movement when learning. So what you're looking at right here is an action-based learning lab. And so there's different pieces of equipment that teachers can take students in and take them on as they're learning. So maybe they're practicing sight words or math equations, things like that. They can be doing that while moving. We have our physical education and health coordinator. Her name is Katie Barton. She is also able to train teachers in action-based learning because all schools do require a training if they receive a lab or equipment because it's not just playtime. It needs to be structured. So that's a very important piece of this program. And we support schools by providing the equipment and materials if available and if funding allows. We also provide training, as I mentioned, and troubleshooting and technical support. And I should also mention that there are different forms of action-based learning. So you were looking at a lab, but you can also incorporate different pieces into classrooms. Instead of having one space for a lab, you can also do purposeful movement in the classroom without equipment. So there's many different ways to incorporate action-based learning. Then we have our Painted Playscapes project. This is where we paint playgrounds with different activities that do not require equipment. It's a fun way for students to be active without equipment, and just it creates more structure at recess and on the playground. So our schools love this, and we've had great success with it. So hopefully we can get this program going soon. And we are partnering with OSDH to help work this program into our schools. Then we have our Tower Garden program. Approximately half of our schools have a Tower Garden. As you can see, it's a vertical garden that has its own light system. It has water in the base, and the water pumps throughout the Tower Garden. So a lot of our schools have success with it. It's very easy to maintain. It can be transported around schools. So our schools love it, and they can grow different fruits, vegetables, herbs. They're really good at growing different herbs and lettuces. And then students love it because they get to taste what they grow, and they also get to learn about how food grows, and teachers can incorporate it into their STEM classroom or for really any classroom. We also send out bi-monthly e-newsletters that include information on growing and ways to get students involved and different recipes. Then we have our Adopt a Doc and Dentist program, and this is where we link a physician or a dentist to your school based on availability. So if there are some available, we try to link them to your school if the school is interested to come out and do a presentation or a health fair, or even a health screening. These are the water safety events that I had mentioned earlier. So we hold 2 a year. We hold We Water Wahoo, which is for kindergartners, and then we hold our Wacky Water Day, which is 3rd and 4th grade. We hope that we can hold in-person events this year, and we hold virtual events every year. So any school can participate in the virtual events. The in-person events are on a first-come, first-served basis. But the virtual events are really fun too. We try to make it interactive so that the students are getting up and moving for the 20 to 25 minutes that the event is going on. And then the in-person event, the Wacky is at Hurricane Harbor, and then the We Water Wahoo, last year we held it at Trey Young Family Center. So it's really fun. We teach students about how to stay safe in and around water, and then they get to swim. This is a picture of some of the equipment that we provide to schools. So for tobacco prevention, there's the large cigarette, which is a great visual. For oral health, we have the Mr. Gross Mouth, which students love to look at and play with. We have our nutrition posters, the jar of tar, helmets. So we try to cover all of our focus areas, and schools receive more than what you're seeing right here, but these are just examples. And obviously physical education equipment is a big piece as well. So then the first requirement you will see is to attend the Summer Health Institute. This was held in July. We also require our coordinators to attend the 3 HSOK trainings we have per year. This is a part of the TSET requirement. So we will send those dates, the first one being September 26th. This one will be for the physical education teacher. The overview presentation, which you are doing now, assist with building and maintaining community partnerships, complete pre and post fitness testing and online survey, hold 3 Healthy and Fit Advisory Committee meetings. This is a TSET requirement. Complete the required School Health Index modules, implement HSOK required curriculum, which is open, and the health curriculum we developed, assist with coordinating the Health University events, and submit required mid-year and final report. Finally, we have maintaining good communication with HSOK staff. That's an important one. If a deadline cannot be met, you must notify HSOK office within 5 business days, and HSOK must be notified of any changes that affect the coordinator position. So the Healthy and Fit Advisory Committee, there needs to be meetings that happen 3 times per year, and these dates need to be sent to us. We understand that sending us all 3 dates might not be possible, but whenever you have those dates scheduled, we'd like to have those on our calendar so we can be there to facilitate them. Community partners will be invited to provide input and partnership opportunities as well. And the first meeting will specifically cover the School Health Index, and we'll also cover wellness policy updates, plans to target physical activity and nutrition, and other health and safety areas. The School Health Index, like I said, this is what we're going to be working on during that first meeting. The TSET grant centers around the School Health Index because it will determine what areas we need to focus on. It's basically a needs assessment tool for your school to determine what health and safety areas you are strong in or weaker in. Schools will complete modules 3, 4, 10, and 11, and we are going to be working with schools to complete this and then come up with action plans. The remaining time will be spent creating the action plans and making progress in the identified areas over the 2-year period. So as far as the money goes, as I mentioned, each school will receive $10,000 per year of the grant, and the money that is being spent will have to align with the action plans that were identified. So a list of action plans will be created based on your school health index scores. We will work with you to create that. Any support provided to your school must align with your action plans, as I mentioned. Some examples of items that schools have been able to purchase the last time we had this grant were playground equipment, playground borders, water stations, outdoor classrooms, obviously physical education equipment. So there are a lot of options. Really anything that can strengthen your physical activity and nutrition environments. The Healthy University, these are events set up like health fairs to share information and resources with students and their families. So this is a great way to reach families. They can be held during an already planned event, which we would prefer so that we're not having to ask parents to attend another event. So if you have a math or reading night, a health fair, or a parent-teacher conference, that's a great time to host these. We can organize these events and recruit vendors that can bring information to parents as well as materials. If you currently partner with any potential vendors, please let us know so we can add them to the list. And then our trainings, as I mentioned in a previous slide, there are 3 trainings throughout the year. The TSET coordinator or PE teacher are required to attend these trainings, and we can provide mileage reimbursement and a sub-reimbursement for these trainings. Training content will be identified based on School Health Index action plans. So if we see a common area that needs to be focused on, we will try to include that in the trainings. So please mark your calendar for the fall training. The first training we have, which is scheduled for September 26th, it's for the physical education teacher at your school site, and it will be located at the Bethany Children's Health Center. Here's our curriculum. We're actually in the process of redesigning this and adding lessons so that they align with the Oklahoma health standards, but these are broken up into K through 2 and 3 through 6 lessons. It covers all of our focus areas and can be taught during a warm-up or cool-down lesson. They can be taught in a classroom or a PE classroom. We also have videos that can be shown in place of the lessons. We have a YouTube channel where these videos are located, and they are 3 to 5 minute quick videos that can be shown to students. There are many ways to show these lessons. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the content to students. So as I mentioned, there's the health videos. All we expect is just to touch on the main points of the lesson so they're receiving that information. You could also devote a full class. Like I said, there are activities within the lessons that you can do as well. And if you have a counselor or a nurse that is already touching on some of these topics, it would be great if they could use these lessons as well. So what makes the program successful? That would be all of you. We are not it's not a one-person program, it's a whole school program. It's not just a health program, it's a school-wide health program. So we just want to make sure that that's clear. Some ways that we can support each other and the program, obviously encouraging movement throughout the day. As I mentioned, we have action-based learning. We have Katie that can come out and train teachers, even if you don't have the equipment, on purposeful movement in the classroom. There's also recess, which we love, like any way to get kids moving. Be understanding if the coordinator requests students to complete the online survey or fitness testing. As I mentioned, those are requirements. Ask for a copy of the curriculum if you think you can help with that. Check on the tower garden if your school does have a tower garden and you walk by and maybe notice it needs water or plants are wilting. Just letting the person who's managing that know that. Participating in the Healthy and Fit Advisory Committee is also a great way to support the program. And as I mentioned, it's a school-wide program, so everyone can be involved. That's what makes it the most successful. We have an app that we were able to create through the TSET grant over the last 2 years, and so it's still a work in progress, but we encourage you to download this if you have not already. We have different health nutrition flyers and things like that, so we're always updating it, and also information that you can access if you're the coordinator. And that is it for the presentation. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. You can ask the coordinator at your site from my email address, and I appreciate your time and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.